Have you ever wondered why a Spring Boot Initializer is necessary? Well, it's time to unravel the mystery behind this essential tool in the world of Spring Boot, a popular framework for building enterprise-grade applications. Imagine having to set up a new Spring Boot project. It involves putting together several components, deciding on the necessary dependencies, and configuring them appropriately. For a novice, this could be a daunting task, and even for a seasoned developer, it can be time-consuming. That's where the Spring Boot Initializer steps into the picture. It's your one-stop solution to kickstart a Spring Boot project. But how does one use the Spring Boot Initializer? It's simple, and here's a step-by-step guide to help you navigate through the process. First, navigate to the Spring Boot Initializer website. It's a user-friendly interface that will guide you through the setup. You'll find several options to customize your project according to your requirements. The first step involves choosing the type of project. You can select between Maven and Gradle, depending on your preference. Next, choose the language for your project. Whether you're a Java, Kotlin, or Groovy enthusiast, the Spring Boot Initializer caters to everyone. Now, it's time to provide some details about your project. Enter the group and artifact details, which represent your project's basic coordinates. Then, select the version of Spring Boot. It's always recommended to go with the latest stable release for the best features and security updates. The next section is where you choose your dependencies. This is one of the most critical steps because these dependencies determine the functionalities of your project. Whether you need web, data access, template engines, or security dependencies, you can select them all here. Once you've selected all the necessary options, hit the Generate button. Voila! Your Spring Boot project is ready for download. You can now import this project into your preferred IDE and start coding right away. Now let's recap the key points we've discussed. The Spring Boot Initializer is an indispensable tool for setting up a new Spring Boot project. It simplifies the initial setup by providing a user-friendly interface where you can customize your project's specifications. The process of using the Spring Boot Initializer involves choosing the project type, selecting the language, providing project details, selecting the Spring Boot version, and choosing the necessary dependencies. By simplifying the initial setup, the Spring Boot Initializer saves valuable time and effort, allowing developers to focus on what they do best, coding. And with that, the mystery of the Spring Boot Initializer is no more. So the next time you embark on a new Spring Boot project, don't forget to use this handy tool to get started. Happy coding!